Good morning, students. Myself, Alkit Tripathi. Dear children, I have a new video of chapters 9, that is from history. The topic is emergence of regional cultures. What was this? Let's discuss. In Kathakali dance, the makeup, costume, and face masks are unique, along with the fact that traditionally this dance from this dance form was performed by male artists. Unlike other dance forms, which are developed in the temple courtyard, these are developed in the courts and theatres with strong roots in martial art. This dance symbolizes an eternal fight between the good and the evil. Can you think of any other dance form with similar features? Let's see. Birth and growth of languages. A striking feature of the medieval period in India was the development of several regional languages. Sanskrit and Persian continue to be the language not only of the upper classes but also in the poor. The wide use of local languages and dialects by the Bhakti saints, as well as royal patronage by many local and regional rulers, added to the evolution of diverse languages in India. Moreover, religious and secular texts of medieval India in the different languages reflect the customs, tradition, and cultures of the specific region where they were composed. These writings inform us about the cultural interactions, social activity, and trading patterns in a particular region. Growth of old languages, that is Sanskrit. Since ancient times, Sanskrit was the main medium of writing and higher learning in our country. During the first half of the medieval period, Sanskrit was patronized by kings in central and South India. The Bhakti saints Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, and Shankaracharya wrote in Sanskrit. A large number of Dharma Shastras or dialects on Hindu law and customs were written in Sanskrit. Most Sanskrit works were produced under the patronage of Hindu or Rajput rulers. Some Jaina scholars like Hemachandra Suri also prefer to write in Sanskrit. Surprisingly, little attempts was made to translate either Arabic or Persian literature into Sanskrit. One of the few entrances was the translation of Yusuf and Zulekha's love story by Jami. However, Sanskrit literature especially the epics Mahabharata and the Ramayana, as well as the Puranas, were frequently translated into regional languages. Kannada's Rastringli, written in the 12th century, was a string of biographies of the kings of Kashmir and was the first royal chronicle in Sanskrit. The family histories of the Rajput rulers, such as Prithvi, Jaya, and Amir Mahakavya, were written under their patronage. Semi-historical texts known as Prabandhas were also composed during this period, considered as one of the finest works of the Sanskrit language. Jayadeva's Gita Govinda, composed in the 12th century, described the relationship between Lord Krishna and Radha. It comprises 12 chapters, each of which is divided into 24 subdivisions or prabandhas. The verses of the Gita Govinda have inspired many choreographies works in Indian classical dance. In the south, the rulers of Vijayanagara he began the Naikas of Tanjore and the chiefs of Travancore and Cochin also extended their patronage to works in Sanskrit. Many genres of Sanskrit like Mahakavyas, historical kavyas, and dramas were written during this period. Govinda Dikshita, Appaya Dikshita at the port of Vellore and Linantha Dikshita at the port of Madurai were some of the important writers of the period. Arabic and Persian. Arabic, the language of the Prophet, was not widely used in medieval India, being confined to rulers of the Delhi Sultanate and a small group of Islamic scholars and philosophers. It was the language for digest of Islamic law like the Fatwa-e-Alamgiri, a digest of law written by a group of jurists during the reign of Aurangzeb. However, Persian introduced by the Turks into India became the language of the Islamic court, administration and the upper classes. It also proved to be the preferred language of many great composers and writers. In this context, mention must be made of Amir Khusro, one of the most outstanding literary figures of this period, known as the poet of India. He created a new literary style called Savakya. He began his career at the court of Balban and was associated with the courts of the Delhi Sultanate. A disciple of Nizamuddin Auliya, he was a great poet, historian, scholar, mystic, and composer of music. His famous works include Shireen Khusro, Laila Majnu, etc. Masnavis or narrative poems, which are of great historical and literary value, like Quran-e-Sadar and Tughlaq-Nama, were also written by him. The Khalik Bari, a dictionary in verse containing 2000 couplets in Hindi, explaining the meaning of Hindi, Persian and Arabic words, was another significant work by Khusro. Court chronicles were distinct literary genius of the period, and the important works were Fatahus Salatin, Fatuhat-e Firoz Shahi, and Tabaqat-e-Nasri. Translation of classical Sanskrit works into Persian was also undertaken during this period. The Ramayana and the Mahabharata were also translated into Persian during the 15th century. Biographies, autobiographies, and histories were also written throughout the Mughal period in Persian and Turkish. The Babar-Nama, Tuzuk-e Jahangiri, Gulbadan Begum's Humayun-Nama, Abul Fazl Akbar-Nama, Balayuni's Patsalnama were some of the significant literary works written during the period. Next we shall discuss in the next video. Till then, goodbye.